Yo, what's going on, guys? In this video, we're going to be doing editor from HackTheBox. This is a box about solid easy. And yeah, let's get on to the video. As always, I'll start by opening my terminals here. I'm starting by pinging the IP address for ping count for 3 for 10, 10, 1180. We do get a response back from the server, so I'm starting to mmap scan. So do -sc for default scripts as a duration. Let's count on ports on the IP. Doing this, I'll do minus verbose. What do you have a total of 3 ports open? Port 22 open for SSH, port 80 open for HTTP, and also port 8080 open for HTTP. I'm sorry, visiting port 80. So I did put this into my /cc host, so I'm going to cat this out. You'll see that I have this for 10, 10, 1180 for editor.htv. So it does seem like we do have a code editor here, which we can download for Windows and Debian Ubuntu. However, we don't have anything under here. We do have also running this on port 8080 for HTTP. We have an XWiki main intro. No other ports other than port 22, port 80, and also port 8080. So again, this seems like we do have a CMS here, a custom CMS. It's already pre-built. We have view installation instructions for this. We can view installation for XWiki, and here's the installation for that. Looking down here, we do have a version for XWiki Debian 15.10.8. I'm going to search this up for like an exploit CV or exploit, which is for exploit. And here we do have an RCE as well as remote execution for 10 or 15.10.10. We are running 15.10.8, which is lower. And we do have a GitHub repository here so we can execute. So we have a CV 2025-24893 for the CV. This is going to be remote execution. I'm going to say I can get clone this repository. I'm cd into CV. I'll do a Python 3 for CV. It seems like we can specify -t for the target and also -c for BusyBox if BusyBox is on the machine, using netcat for getting a shell for using bin/bash. So I'll specify -t for HTTP. We do have this running on port 8080 so I'll just copy this for port 8080. And we'll see if there's any output for the command that we want to run. So do -c, we'll do this for ID. You can simply run this for the command -c for ID. It seems like it was executed, but however, we don't have any output for the ID command, or if we do pwd, we don't have any command output for that. So the way we can test this out is using curl, or you can also use a TCP dump or ping to ping your IP address and start up the ICMP for TCP dump. And I'll just do this with curl. So I'll do Control-Shift-O, we'll do ifconfig. We know we have my IP address as 10.10.15.167. We'll do this on port 8081. Do Control-L, port 8081. We'll start a Python server. We'll do Python 3 for 8081. It doesn't seem like we get a connect back. Let's see if we can take off this XWiki and hopefully it executes. And now we do get a GET request from the server for 10.10.1180. So we did get a hit back. I'm going to start up I'll go into pen test monkey for reverse shell. Reverse shell for pen test monkey. I'm going to get I'll create xq.sh, and then we'll create a file for xq.sh, and we'll output it to on the server, and then do turn executable and execute it as bash, right? So I'll do bin/bash. We have my IP address, which I can put. For 10.10.15.167. It was on 9001. Right quit, got the xq.sh, and we have our server on 8021. So I'll do -o so we can output this to a dev/shm. We'll do this to xq.sh, and this will just simply output it. Since we have a lowercase o, it's going to be used for curl for dev/shm for execute. We'll do and for chmod +x /dev/shm. again for execute.sh. And then we can simply just run a bash against dev.shm for execute.sh. You press enter on that. Let's get the execute.sh. We'll do Control Shift O. We'll do 9001. We'll press enter on that. It seems like it is getting execute.sh. However, it's not executing. We might have to run a bash. Simply just bash against dev.shm. So you can do a bash / dev.shm for execute.sh. Press enter on that. We do ID. And now we're under xwiki. So now we are under user lib xwiki. I do -LA. I'm going to start by exporting my term as to xterm, clear my terminals, redo ID, and we're under xwiki. So we did land under user lib xwiki jetty. We do have some logs here. I'll go cd into logs, do -LA. And we do have a jetty.log and also requests. These are pretty large files, so I'm not going to cat those out. Do -LA. We do have a web apps. Just have this for root, -LA. We have a web -inf. We do -LA, and just a web XML. So I'm pretty sure this is not the main directory that we do have. We do have a xwiki for the main base document root. Do this for xwiki, do -LA. And this is going to be the main base document root for var www HTML, or for the configure file, for the config files, right? So I'm going to cd into web-inf. And we do have a configuration file here for xwiki.config, as well as a hibernate config XML. So I'm going to cut this out. We'll grep out for password. And we do have some passwords here for the hibernate connection. These are all default passwords. We can most likely think that it's going to be user for, we can do /slave /home. And we have one user as Oliver. So I'll cut that out one more time. We have the password as edit team99. So I'll switch to Oliver. And we don't have a T2Y. If we do ID, let's do a Python 3. And we don't have PY. So I'm going to SSH into, we do have port 22 open for SSH. So I'll SSH into Oliver at 10.10.11, 10.10.11.80. We did it for that password. We do ID. And now we're into Oliver. So I'm going to do ls-la. We do have a user.txt. I'll do a sudo mysal. Have that password. We can't run anything as sudo or any other user for root. Go back. We'll go into /opt. Nothing under here. Give a var. Let's go www. HTML. Just under assets. And also a index.html. So I'm going to start by looking for some SUID binaries. You can find this under a cheat sheet for Previs for Linux. If you search that up on Google, you'll find this command that can find SUID binaries running. You can find SUID binaries running as root. So do -4000. We'll do /print. We'll do dev/null. And these are all the specific binaries that we can find within the file system for anything that's found on the base directory for root for Linux. And we'll find these binaries. So we can simply go to GTFO bins. We can go to GTFO bins, and simply here we can search up the name for like password, fuser mount. Fuser mount doesn't have anything. If we do fuser mount, we won't have that. We have chsh user mount. We do have a nt sudo. So I'm going to search up for like an nt sudo for exploit. So do exploit for nt sudo. And we do have a local privilege escalation for Linux. Seems like this is going to be CV 2024-32019. We'll search this up for exploit GitHub. Yeah, we do have a lot of GitHub repos which we can use to successfully do this path previsk. we do have a p.py. We might not be able to run this py since it is automated, and we do have some imports which we can use for like import paramico or pathlib. We might have maybe not typing, but we can install those, right? Let's see how we can do this manually. Let's look into this other POC. I like going into the manual path for knowing how to exploit this or how this is exploited. Let's go to this POC. So here we have a more detailed POC. So this is affecting the versions for nd sudo. If we do nd sudo, we can probably do path manipulation, it seems like, for each individual command. In this case, we have nvme list, nvm smart log, as well as these commands are just running as a binary, right? We want the binary that's running that nd sudo will run. So if I do this for minus help, you'll find we have the nvm list, smart log, this info, battery info, and the same with command and all that, right? So all it's doing is a path manipulation. Let's see if we can copy the source code. So I'm going to copy this. We'll start by compiling. So I'll close this out. So I'm going to copy the same thing. We have this as GCC. We'll just copy the same name. It seems like we can just rename the binary as this for info. That's all we want to do. So I'll just do this to just to keep this the same. Doesn't matter what we can name it. We'll do this for C. Copy this. All this is doing is setting the UID to 0, which is going to be for root, same as GID. Execute in Excel, the execl for bash. Running this in privilege mode for bash as root. So I'll do GCC for, we'll output that. Now we do have our aconf. Do my sm http.server on port 8021. And simply here we can specify the path. In this case, we can export the path. I don't want to export the path like that, but we can just export the path using the export command. So let's get this on the machine. We'll do cd/temp. Go to HTTP. Where do you have my IP address? Has 10.10.15. 10.10.15. Let's go back. 167 on port 8021. We do chmod plus x for arconf. And now we do have the executable. So I'm going to start by exporting my path. We're simply just following what is, we can add the path to the /path. So if I do echo $sign for path, echo $sign for path, you'll see that we only have this under user local sbin, user local bin. And the way path works is it starts from the beginning and goes all the way to the end. So we'll find within just the path of /temp. So all they do is execute a path. So export a path is equal to $sign path. So now if we echo our path, you'll see now we have this under /temp. Actually, let's try to export that one more time. Instead of specifying temp, we can just put that without a /. And anyways, we have both in case this one doesn't work. We have the /temp, which should work since we shouldn't specify a file path for the directory. So now we can just simply copy for the nd sudo against arconf. We're looking for the specific binary. In this case, they did use pdinfo. So I'll move the arconf to the pdinfo and simply copy the command to get root. Let's go back up. Since it is path manipulation, We can copy the NVMe list to see hopefully that it does exist. If we let's move the AR to NVMe. Run this one more time. We do ID. Now we're in the root. So it seems like the name is looking for this specific name because if I go back, so if I go back, we'll find that if we find the if we do the info, then it is looking for the ARF conf. So we can simply move the and does it see oh yeah, so we can move the NV. So we can do the NV to the info or to the specific binary that's looking for, which is arconf. Run this one more time for the info. We do ID. Now in the root, we can export our term is equal to xterm. Our terminals, go back, so into root, and kind of root.txt. Well, guys, pretty much in the video. Don't like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.